Hi, I'm Ellen Allen from the Norwell Board of Selectmen, and I'm here today to tell you about two of the articles that are going to be presented at our town meeting. I hope you've heard that town meeting has been scheduled for Saturday, July 25th at 10 a.m. at the field behind the Norwell Middle School. And there's lots of information about this different town meeting coming available on the town website, townofnorwell.net. So one of the first things we're going to take up at town meeting this year, at this special town meeting, are some articles regarding our marijuana bylaws. And I think the best way to understand what we're asking for you to consider is to understand where we are. So back in 2012, the state passed the legalization of medical marijuana. And in that election, Norwell voted 60% in favor of that, 40% against. And the following May of 2014 at the town meeting, we unanimously voted in favor of creating an overlay district to allow all types of medical marijuana establishments. And that's up in the Accord Pond Park Industrial Commercial Park. So after that happened, we were one of the first communities to zone for that. So we had several companies come forward to us and say, gee, we'd be interested in looking at whether we might do that in Norwell. And one ended up moving forward to do that, called Elevated Access. And they bought a property that's currently unoccupied, raw land, at 400 Cordwainer Drive. And they were interested in doing medical marijuana only and doing everything from growing to wholesale distribution, but they did not want to have a retail establishment. They got all of their approvals. They had to go to many town boards. And they even worked with our public safety departments to make sure it would be a secure facility. And for example, the trucks that would come to take the product away and deliver it to retail establishments would be enclosed as part of the building, not driving up outside. So we feel it would have been a very safe design. When the recreational marijuana legislation came along, lo and behold, we had the landscape change for them, and they did not start construction. They wanted to see what that would mean. So they postponed moving forward. So in 2016, that state ballot question came forward, and the state again approved marijuana, legalized it, and this time for adult use, also known as recreational. And the town voted against this, 60-40 in favor of medical, but in this case, 55% to 45% opposing the legalization of adult use. So in response to that, we went to town meeting, and without it being clear yet how you could prevent those establishments in town, we went ahead and did all three things that might be required. We passed a general bylaw and a zoning bylaw not allowing it, and we also passed a ballot question prohibiting adult use marijuana establishments. Things started to move forward at the state level on how adult use recreational marijuana would be implemented through a creation of the CCC, the Cannabis Control Commission. They established their various requirements. That's taken quite a while. And what became very clear to Elevated Access is that they would not be able to do medical marijuana alone. It simply would not be a viable business for them. So, given all of that, what they've come to us and asked us to consider is to allow them to do adult use recreational marijuana activities, growth through wholesaling, still no retail sales. So the activities going on inside this building that's been approved would be exactly the same as what's allowed for medical. But we would have to make these bylaw changes and go back to the ballot box in an upcoming election to allow them to sell to this different outlet in other towns. So if we pass Articles 4 and 5, it's a general bylaw and a zoning bylaw, it would allow them to do that. The changes would not allow them or anyone else to do retail sales of adult use recreational marijuana. So if this passes, it will go on for a ballot question, the third thing we have to adjust. And they would then want to move forward in constructing their facility and getting their business going. We would benefit in the town in two ways. First, the property tax bill on that property would go up a lot. Instead of being raw, unoccupied land, it would have a business there. And in addition, under state law, we would sign a 5-year community host agreement with them by which we would receive 3% of their gross sales in additional revenue to the town. If it does not pass, then they have no other plans for the property. It would likely stay as raw land at a fairly low tax bill, and we would not get the additional property taxes for the foreseeable future, nor would we get that 3% fee. So that's what we're going to consider at town meeting on those two articles. Please come and join into the conversation and let your voice be heard.